NFL football has come to Southern Nevada as we are in the menacing new Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas.
Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night.
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25.
So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
On first down, Parham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, with that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Second and 11.
Back to throw. Woodson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. On third down, Parham. And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled.
Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
On first and 10, Woodson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Looking to throw. Woodson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Now on third and forever, he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Las Vegas sending out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And when you think about great seasons in recent memory, he's definitely putting one together here. There's a good chance he's going to go over 5,000 yards passing for the season. He's just a little bit under that mark coming in. And I tell you, it's pretty rarefied air when you get up there with numbers like this.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 catches, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
3rd in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong number. That means he's being consistent each and every time out.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Powers through it. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 40.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Back to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 24-yard line.
1st down, Steamers.
They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Now they'll run on the draw. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Hands it off out of the gun. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that challenge, a successful one.
His pass caught at the 4. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so When they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll set up to throw, and it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown on the year.
And the Steamers are on the board first here in Vegas.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
Under pressure, they got him again. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Well, they did go run, so you were right. Maybe a little more breathing room for 4th down.
Well, no one wants to be accused of playing it safe, right? But instead, they would just reverse it and say, we're playing it smart.
Here's the Raiders punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
And one thing we do know, they will be a part of the playoffs come January. They have clinched the AFC West.
And that feels good for them, but they feel like their work is far from done because as it stands right now, they won't have the 1st round bye. But a lot of teams will tell you, that's okay with us. We just want to get to the playoffs and wreak havoc from that point on.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Right back to him on 1st down. And some room to work. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Tackle made at the 16-yard line.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And he'll work this forward for about 3 and second down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 20 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back...
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Las Vegas sending out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's able to get it out of there. Powering forward. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
And that is incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there on 3rd down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. On to the second quarter. Memphis in possession of the football. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Steamers are able to stretch out their lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-zip. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. The results for them so far, not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Woodson. He finds his man. Complete. That's man. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's the Raiders punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
On 2nd down. It's Barry, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
A 4-yard pickup on the play. First down, Steamers.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Letting one go deep for Roberts. He's got it at the 15. And he will be taken down deep in Las Vegas territory. A big play there. But he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And this is more of the same right here. These guys have definitely been the aggressors here in the first half. They pushed the envelope in terms of play calls, and that's reflected in the score. And now they're in a position to widen this lead.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
That was the kind of play that this defense needed because it has not been a good half for them on that side of the football. Maybe they can use that one to regroup a little bit and start to play a little bit better.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good. So along
long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
17-yard line.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Number 3. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second.
Off play action. Woodson. That is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Woodson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They'll run on 1st down. Parham. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Woodson. And Bolden brings it in, complete. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Back to throw. Woodson. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Woodson. And this is going to be incomplete. Las Vegas sending out their punter now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Here's Memphis to once again go on offense. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. They'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Barry. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Come on now, let's go. A gain of 15.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Second and 2. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. They'll drop to throw. And the Raiders have got him. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down of the sack. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Forced out, and he's going to go down again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll take it across midfield and down the 48-yard line.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. 2nd and 2. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Barry. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big play that time on the catch and run.
For as much as we extol his route running and him as a pass catcher, he might be better with the ball in his hands. He did not want to go down there until he found the end zone. And while he didn't quite get there, he and his guys are set up near the goal line now. 1st and goal.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll look to throw again. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Steamers will extend their lead here just before halftime. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. 5 plays there on that drive. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. The Broncos, with the victory, give themselves a chance at an above 500 season as they move to 7-8 with 2 games to go. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson leading the way with a couple of touchdown passes in the victory. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for our visitors in the first half. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And the half will begin with a touchback.
Let's go. Let's go.
And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
84 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll try the left side. Barry. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
46-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
On first down, Parham, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Back to throw. Woodson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, you talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
2nd down and 7.
23-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. Woodson. Under pressure, and down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Woodson.
And that is incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return.
Here's Memphis to once again go on offense.
They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Back to throw. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Roberts. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, it's Barry, and he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL in picking up 1st downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Second and 14.
Now back to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
He'll look to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And the Steamers just continue to roll.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Las Vegas' offense back out there, ready to go.
They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now...
Looking for Bolden, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Raiders offense ready to go. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
We'll see if they can do it here. Off the play fake. Woodson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a first down. Well done.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Hands it off out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A 3rd down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this will be scooped up by the defense. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. He was trying to do anything he could to get that final little bit for the first down. Instead, he lost the ball.
Yeah, and he was short of the first down, but not by much. Trying his best, as you noted, to get there. Sometimes that extra effort can cost you.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
On now is the field goal team here as the Raiders will try for 3. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
Complete to number 4. gain of 14. First down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. And there's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Berry. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
We got 4. We got 4.
Second and 6. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up fourth down.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
And this one is right down the middle. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further.
So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you get 3 out of it, that's great too.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Roberts. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain.
Get ready.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll keep it on the ground. Berry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
122 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Now a give right side. It's Berry. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. That time they're able to bottle him up, and he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carry.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game.
And the Steamers extend their 4th quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead.
Raiders nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 22-yard line.
Looking to throw. Woodson. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, Woodson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's the Raiders punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
Here's Memphis to once again go on offense.
And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
37-yard line. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, it's Berry. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10.
Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
On 1st down, Woodson, throw left side, complete. That's man. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and
Operating from the gun, Woodson. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Back to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Here's Memphis to once again go on offense.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put in #1 for what we've seen this season.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
On 3rd down, it's Barry, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to kick it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on 1st down, Woodson. In trouble, and he's taken down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
To throw on second down, Woodson. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 20, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
Throwing after the interception, Woodson. He finds his man, complete. That's man. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's a second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
From the gun, Woodson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. The Raiders on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He finds Bolden.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a dump off here complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it 3rd down. Back to throw. Woodson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Woodson. Open is Powell. That's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short. So it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Operating from the gun, Woodson. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for our visitors, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.